40 centuries ago, along the Niger River in what is today Mali and Niger, small groups of people settled in fishing and farming villages. One of these villages grew into the town of Gao. The people here were called the Songhai. They spoke their own language, worked as farmers, herders and fishermen, and became skilled traders because the Niger River was like a great highway for boats and goods. By the 9th century, Gao had grown into a small but important kingdom. Arab traders from North Africa began visiting Gao to exchange salt, cloth, and horses for gold, ivory, and slaves from the south. At first, the Songhai kingdom was small compared to its powerful neighbors, such as the Ghana Empire and later the Mali Empire, but Gao's location made it rich in trade and hard to ignore. For a long time, Songhai lived under the shadow of the Mali Empire. Mali controlled Gao for over a century, but the Songhai people never forgot their independence. In the early 15th century, Mali's power began to weaken. Provinces far from the capital started breaking away. Gao saw its chance. A leader named Sonny Suleiman Dama freed Songhai from Mali's control, making it an independent kingdom again. Over the next decades, the Songhai kings worked to expand their influence. But the real turning point came in 1464 when Sunni Alibert came to the throne. Sunni Alibert was one of the most famous rulers in West African history. His name, Alibert, means Ali the Great. When he became king, Songhai was strong but surrounded by enemies, rival kingdoms, desert raiders, and even some cities still loyal to Mali. Sunni Ali believed that the only way to protect Songhai was to make it the strongest power in the region. He built a powerful army with cavalry, infantry, and a river fleet of war canoes. He was known for his bold military strategies and his ability to travel quickly using the Niger River. Sunni Ali's greatest victories were the captures of Timbuktu, 1468, and Djenné, 1473. These two cities were the jewels of West Africa, famous for trade, scholarship, and Islamic culture. With these cities under his control, Sunni Ali controlled the gold and salt trade routes across the Sahara. However, Sunni Ali's relationship with Islamic scholars was tense. He was Muslim, but he also followed some traditional African beliefs. Some scholars accused him of not being a true Muslim ruler. Still, for ordinary people, he was a hero who kept the empire safe and prosperous. By the time of his death in 1492, the Songhai Empire stretched hundreds of kilometers along the Niger River and was the largest kingdom West Africa had ever seen. After Sunni Ali's death, there was a brief struggle for power. His son took the throne, but a respected general named Muhammad Touré challenged him and won. Muhammad Touré became known as Askia Muhammad, one of the greatest rulers in African history. Askia Muhammad was a devout Muslim. He reorganized the government, dividing the empire into provinces, each ruled by a governor. He set up a tax system that was fair and efficient. He made sure that trade routes were safe so merchants could travel without fear of robbery. In 1496, Askia Muhammad made a pilgrimage, Hajj, to Mecca. His journey was grand, with thousands of followers and gifts of gold. This pilgrimage connected Songhai to other Muslim lands, improving trade and knowledge exchange. Timbuktu became one of the most famous learning centers in the world. It had Quranic schools, universities, and libraries that attracted scholars from as far as North Africa and the Middle East. The Sankore University in Timbuktu became legendary for its teachings in law, mathematics, astronomy, and literature. Under Askia Muhammad, Songhai reached the height of its wealth and culture. Merchants grew rich, scholars flourished, and art and architecture thrived. After Askia Muhammad's reign, the empire began to face problems. His successors were not as strong or wise. Power struggles between royal family members weakened the unity of the empire. Provinces began to rebel, and some trade routes became unsafe. Meanwhile, a dangerous new threat was rising from the north. In Morocco, the ruler Ahmad al-Mansur had heard about Songhai's riches. Morocco wanted control of the Saharan trade routes. In 1591, Morocco sent an army of about 4,000 soldiers to conquer Songhai. These soldiers were armed with guns and cannons, weapons that Songhai's warriors had never faced before. The Songhai army was much larger, but fought mainly with spears, swords, and bows. The two armies met at the Battle of Tondibi. Songhai's fighters charged bravely, but the sound and power of Moroccan gunfire caused panic. The Songhai army was defeated, and the Moroccans marched on to capture Gao, Timbuktu, and Djenné. After the invasion, the great Songhai Empire collapsed. Morocco controlled the main cities, but their power in the region was weak. The empire broke into smaller kingdoms and trade declined. Even though the Songhai Empire ended over 400 years ago, its influence is still remembered. It showed that African civilizations could be powerful, organized, and rich in culture. Its cities, especially Timbuktu, became symbols of knowledge and trade. The empire also showed how rivers like the Niger could bring people together and create wealth. The leadership of Sunni Ali and Askia Muhammad remains an important part of African history, one for their military strength and the other for wisdom and learning. The story of Songhai reminds us that while empires can rise and fall, the ideas, culture, and achievements they leave behind can last for centuries.